So my name is Ayako Kato. I'm originally from Japan. I came to Chicago December 2004, and since then I'm active in the dance community, keep experimenting, teaching and performing, improvising with musicians. That's what I do, yes.
What brought you to Chicago?
Actually, it's marriage. Yeah, my husband is a musician. His name is Rafferty. He's a double bassist. Yeah, and we met at the University of Michigan, and he and I took the same class, dance and related arts. We didn't collaborate at that time, but afterwards we started to collaborate, and that brought me back to Chicago. Yes. Training. Yeah. Okay, so I started out classical ballet when I was 4. I continued until 19. I was entering competition, and I was a finalist of all Japan ballet competition, but things happened. Then I decided to leave, but I was studying international studies at the Meiji University. Then I thought dance is very ephemeral, and 19 years old is very sensitive, going to, getting ready to go outside of the world. And I felt I shouldn't be dancing, and it should be more useful doing something other things socially. Then I left, but my body didn't accept the condition of not me dancing. Mentally, physically, it was impossible. So I started out modern dance in Japan first, but and I actually worked for a pottery company. I was involved in pottery company because it's tangible and it's daily use. It's not something like you don't need to pay a lot of money. Some pottery is expensive, but yeah. But anyway, but the company work or condition among Japanese customs are not for me. And at that time I was engaged as well. And my ex-husband was studying economics at the University of Michigan, so I moved to Michigan. Yes. Then I started out. Then my relationship was a bit. Then I decided to dance again. Then eventually I encountered, before I entered the University of Michigan, Doris Humphrey's disciple, Ernestine Stodel. Yeah. Then and I learned, fall and recovery. Then in Michigan, I encountered Peter Sparling, but I also danced in the pole therapies, learning from Mary Kaplan, and also I did Cunningham piece, learning from Kathleen Carr. And so that was really enriching experience. Yeah. And I went back to Japan for 5 years. Yeah, then I was active as a dancer. Then also I did Tai Chi when I was still in Michigan. Then in Japan I learned no theater dance. And also I learned Buto from Kazuo Ono. Yeah, then I was searching, my own movement style, more like based on not only like Western dance, but more based on my origin, Eastern origin, Japanese origin. Yeah. Then I came back to Chicago and keep
It is my
moving.
pleasure to welcome to the stage
That
esoteric
answered my
dance
question
project.
about how I was having trouble connecting your ballet background to what I've seen you do recently. But now I start to get it.
Yes.
Really incorporated a lot of different
Yes.
styles into training.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also when I was stopping dance, I encountered this text of haiku poet Basho, and he's influenced by Chuang-Tzu, one of Taoist. Then I read a lot of them, you know. Then I learned Japanese tea ceremony, flower arrangement to pursue this idea of hoodoo, wind flow, being as it is, you know, beauty of being as it is. And that's very much feeding where I am now. And that incorporation of like Zen Buddhism idea of emptying yourself and being wholly yourself, connected with nature and the universe, is my way of dancing. Yes.
Yeah, so before you were talking about finding something more useful, but it sounds like you have found a way for dance to be useful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
Yes, so when I was wondering what I should do, you know, I started out dancing again in Michigan, still when I was with my ex-husband. But then the first teacher, modern dance teacher, day one told me like she started out dance again when she was 30 years old, and at that time I was 26 years old. Then I was like, oh, maybe I can again dance. Then she actually invited me to Hiroshima Day, commemorating like atomic bomb, you know. Then she asked me to create solo. Then after that event, I was like, wow, yeah, peace and dance can really, you know. And I vowed myself, you know, like if I allow me to dance, I should dance, you know, create dance for people and addressing everybody, everyone is the very precious being, you know. Yeah.
So do you want to tell me about a particular work that you've made or project?
Yes. Yeah. So 10 years ago, I received Chicago Dance Makers Forum Love Artist Award. Then by then, I was accumulating this piece called 10 Nights Dream. Like I was creating 10 Nights Dream 1, 2, and I did third one in Chicago, and I applied. Then I got, you know, to culminate the project, and I did the piece. Then that piece really let me notice I was doing both like improvisation and compositional work, but that piece taught me how those two are integrated and interdependent. Then I started to explore more of those. Then I also created this piece called The Incidents, which received the Best of Dance from the Chicago Tribune. Then I did like applied Euclidean isometry, mirror combination, and butterfly effect, ripple effect type of thing. But actually, yeah, and more like in Japanese way, minimal, you know, and also the way of movement is like choreographing the air and energy rather than focusing on the physical self. Yeah, like, yeah, so that I did. Then recently, to celebrate 20th year anniversary of my company, I did Stuck 1998 and Anchor 2008. Then this composer, Manfred Weber, wrote 4,000-page score, and the content is 6 seconds of silence and 6 seconds of sound and 6 seconds of silence, all the page. and instrument play these 72 different pitches. It's very minimal. And I created aiming at the independence of dance. Then the thing was you cannot repeat the same score twice. So I created 4 hours of the piece and for 4 days. Then first, music first, second day, dance first, third day, music and dance as equals. Then fourth day, the independence of dance. Then on the last day, I did 20 minutes of solo without any sound. But during the last rehearsal, I could realize, I shouldn't be comparing music and dance. Dance is dance, and it has the quality, the value. It's continuing since humans existed, right? All the way. And also I learned, like this composition and improvisation are the same thing after all. Like, wow, absolute movement. Like now I am talking to you. This had to happen, like absolute moment comes in. So, yeah, enlightenment, one of enlightenment. Yeah, happened. Then I am now working on ethos project. Yeah, like for these times, I feel we should establish and aim at together more new ethos to overcome the current condition. Yes.
Wow, sounds like you've been making some big discoveries.
Yeah, dance is really force, to let me inform many other things and recognize, all the phenomena happening, so principles.